Hi, everybody. Welcome to the Ink Report. This is episode 4. I'm Justin.
I'm Ken.
And we have a lot to get to this week. We saw 2 major tournaments. We saw tons of D23 news and updates. So what I thought we'd do is first start with the tournaments of this weekend. We had the D23 CCQ, which was the first of Season 3, Season of Villainy. We got to see those awesome mats and cards for the first time. They look amazing.
Yeah, I cannot wait to have a shot at that.
And we also saw Charlie's Collectible Show. It was an invite-only tournament. 128 of the best players around North America, all competing for $50K.
Yeah, it's a lot of zeros.
Yeah, so that's a lot of money. I thought we'd start with the D23 CCQ first.
Sounds good. So I want to get right into it. Alessio takes down the very first of this season's CCQs, earning himself the invite. Good job. Congratulations. We're looking at Amber Amethyst. This is a really good deck. We're really starting to see the refinement and the tweaks. Some of the key notes I want to point out is really leveraging the besties this time at a full commitment of 4. Love to see it. Still utilizing Elwini and Augustin to go ahead and support up and give Gaston a little more support. No World's Greatest Criminal Mind, full in on Gaston for that ability. And yeah, it's a clean deck with a lot of card draw and a lot of control. Anything else you think I missed about it? I mean, it's really consistent. It feels like Blurple of Season 2.
Yeah, I would say this has a lot of the same things that we saw from Blurple past before rotation. It has the ramp in Ham and Willow. It has, so we skip turn 3 and we go straight to 4 ink. We have removal, and I would probably argue better removal than we had in Blurple with the Gaston, the Horseman Strikes, and
Rest in peace, Into the Unknown.
Yeah, Into the Unknown. And it still has all the kind of crazy card draw that Purple provides us. This is a really solid list. I think this is going to be one of the best, if not the best deck we see in the very, very near meta. I would expect to see a lot of this in the North American Continental Championship.
Even your set champs.
And yeah, for sure.
Yeah, so it just travels up that curve. And to Justin's point, it does that control-y thing that it does, this time taking away the opponent's pieces instead of inking them.
Right.
Unlike Blurple of Season 2.
Right. And you know, it utilizes the great line of Isis, followed by removal of Sven. It has everything. And then I like to see that Ursula finally getting a spot that, and it's kind of that sweet spot because it's a 4/5. So that's really important to have a 4 strength because you can't touch it with cards like the Red Alert,
right?
And you can't, and Gaston it's too weak for Gaston to target. So you'd have to do a combo to be able to target her. And she can, once you boost her, you can make her evasive. So you can deal with all those threats. Oh, and by the way, she quests for 3.
Yeah. One good note about Ursula, you want to be careful on boosting her because you want to be conscious of your opponent playing that strike.
Right.
You don't want to lose out, a great 3-quester to that strike.
Yeah.
So, yeah, great deck. Congratulations again, Alessio. Let's move right into the Ruby Amethyst that took down Charlie's.
Yeah.
Great job by Garrett. This deck utilizes some one-ofs, and it is very focused on following up the curve.
Right.
This time, though, utilizing those Ruby characters that are heavily focused on evasive, but can hold back any of the aggressive strategies and the mid-range strategies by having just a little bit more toughness and such. So, and strength, of course, willpower. Yeah. I always do that. So it's a great deck, and it is again utilizing Ursula just like the previous deck, and this time 2 of Peter Pan and Tinkerbell shift line instead of 4 of.
Right. Why do you think that we're seeing less of that card?
I feel this deck specifically is built with evasives in mind, built with the Jebediah and the Randall. So I think you need less commitment to making all your characters evasive, and you already have that synergy with Dumbo, and you can really, take advantage of those boards that do not have a lot of evasives.
Right. And can we talk about the card that we're kind of seeing pop up in Purple decks and Amethyst decks with the Vixie? This is a really, really interesting card that I think kind of just found the purpose of it.
Yeah, so if you have an evasive character on the board, you can bounce back a character for 2 costs or less.
Mhm.
I believe it's not just a character.
Yeah,
We're going to double check that. Yep.
It's
So it's
item
items
or
and location.
location,
So
yeah.
there's a little bit of item control.
Yeah.
We played a match and we didn't need the item controls, so I didn't pay attention to that portion.
Yeah.
Sorry about that. So great deck, utilizing that Violet Par from the previous set, which will move over 1 damage. Just a lot of little things that amount to a lot of big things. And because of the Ursula 4/5 and the Mrs. Incredible at 4/5, Medallion Weights comes in to give that additional strength.
Okay.
So that way we can do those big trade-ins, draw a card, and we don't have to worry about, to your previous point, a Red Alert or a Gaston or World's Greatest Criminal Line. We still have to be conscious of the strike, but we're really at that 4, to Justin's point, we're sticking right in that safe zone, and we're making our opponent really work to get rid of that character, which is great. They exert an Augustin or an Elwynny, and then they can take it out, and then we can challenge back.
Right.
So one big thing I wanted to bring out, and I want your opinion on, no Hades 5 costs in this deck.
Yeah, that's interesting. I mean, what do you think they did that for? Do you think that it was because of it not being evasive, or what do you think is the reason that they didn't do that?
So I was very diligent on watching as much Lorcana this weekend as I could. These being larger tournaments, I wanted to see what the decks would rise to the top. And when we watched the interview with Garrett, Garrett said that on the play, Hades is negative going into Demona because your opponent's most likely not going to get rid of a character and give you 2 cards.
That's true.
In those pivotal turns after you Isis and such, you're really creating a bad state for your opponent. So you're on the play probably going to get 2 cards,
right,
reducing the effects of your Demona. So I immediately texted you and Ryan, our buddy from in Texas now. He used to play test with us. And I just said, wow, big brain move.
Yeah.
It's great.
And this card draws so much that you're not missing the card draw. And, it seems like less and less people are taking the deal now anyway. So you're usually not removing a character. You don't really need the card draw. So yeah, I don't think that it's missing too much in this list.
Yeah, I think it's really dependent, right? I think it's dependent on what you're facing. That's where I see Hades, yes, removing the cards, but also in some scenarios, like you said, giving the cards. So, just a big brain move. It was really impressive. This deck is very refined. I imagine that Medallion Weights and such is going to be very targeted moving forward.
Yeah.
If this deck continues to perceive, and I've been playing it, and I'm telling you, it's strong. It's strong. So,
and what I want to point out though, for these 2 tournaments, we see lack of Amber Emerald. Do you think that's been the target all along? So these decks are a reaction to that current meta?
Definitely. Amber Emerald is still defining the meta. You still have to have a deck that answers Amber Emerald, or you're going to get swept out. So these decks are built in a way to answer that. Looking at the on the play, on the draw disparity and what happens there, this deck kind of solves that, just like the previous deck. It creates with Demona and Isis these scenarios to get back into the game and really slow down the big Eleanor and Mike Wazowski plays that just generate a lot of that card draw. I have a feeling, though, we're still going to see some Amber Emerald rise to the top. It's so strong, and I don't know if everybody's been focused on it as much as these other decks have been focused.
Right. Yeah.
But I could be mistaken.
No, I agree. I think your set champs are going to see tons of that aggro princess. But you are also going to see these decks starting to pop up. And I think it's definitely a right call for especially a larger tournament. The aggro sometimes always has a little trouble converting in the larger tournaments, and in adding all these new tools that the purple decks have started adding in, I think is addressing the princess aggro, the what's been the leader of the format for the last month basically. So yeah, I expect to see a lot of that in our set champs, but you still have to remember that we still have the aggro princess deck that is going to be always there.
Turn 2, 4 characters. It's tough. It's tough. So be aware of that when you're out there and you're tweaking and you're building your decks and you're trying to get an edge in those mirror matches or those other mid-range and control decks. You have to have an answer for Emerald aggro.
Yeah.
So talk to me about some of these other, not so much fringe decks because they definitely performed, but some of these up-and-coming decks that we're starting to see that maybe just need a tweak or two or maybe a little bit better path before they see a win.
Right. Yeah. So this week we saw a couple of ink pairings. We saw Emerald Steel It performed well in past weeks, but it really seemed to overperform this weekend especially in the CCQ. I believe 4 to 5 of the top 8 were on green still build. It also did very well at Charlie's Collectible Show. We have Zenulys's list from D23 CCQ, and this deck kind of pivoted away from the Touch the Paradise to a new draw engine. So we have a standard, it's kind of a curve deck where we want to go from 1, 2, 3 all the way up to curve. We have card draw in Mushu. We have card draw in Launchpad. That's the new thing is with Darkwing Duck.
Yep.
Launchpad always draws you a card.
Still using Strike.
It is.
It's still using Strike. Max is still recurring from your discard. So those are all great little traits. But yeah, a lot of I didn't mean to cut you off. But it's a lot of card draw, and you're still utilizing Eleanor.
Right.
So it's doing a lot of mean things.
It is.
And it's really targeting those go wide strategies and really saying, hey, pump the brakes because I'm going to win this one on you. Mushu may not be as strong in that matchup,
right?
But your angels and all that really take over, and you can deplete your hand almost as fast as your opponent.
Right, and it also is playing the 3-cost uninkable Darkwing Duck that when you play it, you can also deal 1 damage.
Yep.
So that's just another removal, another damage removal card that you have.
Works with that good aim ability from your angel if you have one of those on the board. Just doing some really awesome things. Lenny to remove pesky actions or songs from your opponent, and you get to choose, and then it re-readies if it sings anything.
Yeah.
Or you play any action for the first time that turn.
Yeah, this is a really strong deck. I don't have too much experience with it. I've played a little bit with it. It does a lot of powerful things, and again, this is one that you shouldn't be expecting to see in the near future.
Mother Knows Best and Rapunzel are both in the deck. Be aware of that. They're going to bounce something. They're going to discard stuff, and they're going to bounce something. So they're going to protect themselves and insulate themselves from the Chernobog strategies, and still remove any of those pesky things it wants to remove.
Yeah, for sure.
So let's talk about Ryan's performance at the CCS, the Charlie's Collectible, 50K.
Yeah.
Top 16 with Amethyst Emerald. If you don't mind, start us off. Walk us through this. There's a lot going on with this deck.
There is. That's an ink pairing we haven't seen in a long time perform well. We have Aladdin, we have Lyle, and Lyle is kind of an important card in this because when you are able to put 2 cards into your discard, your opponent loses a lore. So this card helps you kind of stall the game out, kind of rewind the clock a little bit so you can set up your win condition. And this has maybe the strongest, if not the strongest, top-end characters of any deck that we've seen so far. We have our Chernobog, we have our Demona, we have our Milo Thatch, and I like
Prince Philip,
but I also like seeing Elsa, the Spirit of Winter.
Welcome back.
Yeah,
with no shift target, right? Or she has a small shift target, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, she does. They do have the small shift target,
which draws a card.
Yeah, so
nice.
There's a lot of stuff going here. So and then also utilizes the retro evolution device. So we have the Chernobog that costs 5, which then could go into the Milo Thatch, which is 7, which can then go into the Prince Philip.
Nice.
It's able to cheat out things very quickly. And
so kind of feels like the Amber Emerald strategy with the Circle of Life retro deck.
Exactly.
But with the Amethyst cards, just doing a lot of things, drawing probably more cards than most other decks.
Right.
And then equally discarding, activating that Jebediah. So it's one big engine that your opponent can get to 16, 17, 18, and you can start rewinding the clock, removing threats, controlling the board, and really just take over.
Right.
There's also, how do you pronounce his name? Terran?
Yeah. So it's a rush, 5 unequal rush character. But when you play that, you can put up to 2 cards from Chosen's discard at the bottom of the deck. So that also helps with those
Chernobog plays.
Exactly. So you're able to help with that. And then if you don't get the cards that you like, well, you just play Aladdin and Genie. You just put all your cards on the bottom of the deck and draw all new cards.
This is our new tramp. The only way to fold up or make a new hand. But we don't get to choose, of course. But we could say, hey, get rid of 4. Right. Then I can draw back 5 because it's that +1 ability.
Exactly.
So So there was some speculation early in the meta that this card would not be that strong. And now we're starting to see with the right pairings and the right pilots, this actually has quite a bit of strength. So maybe get your Aladdins now?
Yeah, I would say it would not be a bad idea.
Okay, okay.
I have a feeling that this is a very difficult deck to pilot. I think this would take a lot of practice. So if we're looking towards set championships happening very soon, I would not be surprised if you see this, but at the same time, I don't think this is going to be an overwhelming number in the room. But this is something we can definitely see at our Continental Championships here next week.
If I'm not mistaken, the Slab Sharks were on this deck as well.
Yeah,
is that correct?
This is their build, and that's what they decided to take to Charlie's Collectible Show.
I cannot wait to see the future iterations of this, and I hope I don't see it at the set champs or if I go to a CCQ, because this deck is very tough to beat. Maybe I just need to play it to really understand it.
Yeah.
But with that retro device, there's a lot of big nasty things happening.
Yeah, and I'd say this. I mean, this kind of came out of nowhere. I mean, this was popping up a little bit in places where you can maybe play Lorcana, but you didn't really see too much of it. So this week kind of was the introduction of this deck. So it's something that definitely needs more exploring.
Not to blow the news out, but we are going to get a digital client finally.
We are.
Yeah. We haven't had one yet.
No, not yet. So that's basically wraps up this week's competition. Not too much, just major tournaments. But I thought what we should do is take the top 2 deck lists from Charlie's Collectible Show, and we'll take the top list from D23 and give them a try.
Yeah, hopefully I play my lines well.
Yeah.
All right, so I won the die roll, and I'm playing the Ruby Amethyst Charlie's Collectible 50K invite only winning deck. So with this deck that we just reviewed with you all, I'm looking to curve out into Isis and then eventually into a Demona. So what I really like here is to race because I am on the play. So I want to keep back a Randall Boggs. I'm going to send a Randall Boggs away, a Jebediah, and probably going to keep the rest of this and just hope I get a 1-drop. So 1, 2.
Okay, I am on the draw. I'm playing the winning deck list from the D23 CCQ. I'm looking for ramp, so we're definitely keeping Grandmother Willow. I'm also looking a way to contest the board as much as possible, so we're definitely keep it Tigger so I can slow down tempo and have a nice challenger. I'm really looking for a 1 cost if possible. I'm also looking for that Isis or Demona to be able to exert the board, so I'm going to go ahead and get rid of 5. And I get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and that works out well.
All right, so as stated, I'm on the play, so I'm just going to ink an Ursula and pass to my opponent.
Draw. All right, so what I'm looking for is to look at my future plays. I know Grandmother Willow is going to come on 2. On turn 3, I'm going to play Tigger to be able to have a challenger. I don't have a 5, but I'm okay using Augustin to support my next turn with Demona. So it comes down to, do I ink Louisa or Ilwani? I think what I need to do is keep the extra willpower. So I'm going to ink Ilwani and play Louisa. Pass.
All right, ready, set, draw. All right, so I drew the Jebediah. That is good for holding back my opponent, but I am in this scenario going to go the route of going fast, so I will ink that and bring out a Randall Boggs and pass.
Ready, set, draw. So what I have, I drew the Bessie's Symbol. That's a great card for later if I need to find another Demona, Isis, something like that. So I want to protect this. I also know that his deck plays a lot of evasive, so Horseman Strike is a uninkable, secret uninkable in this matchup. I have card draw with Demona, so this is why I'm going to ink the guidebook. And then for 2, I will play Grandma Willow. and he could challenge in with his Randall Boggs. I need to save that for future Demona turns, so I could possibly get away with questing, but I'm going to be better safe than sorry, and I'll pass.
Ready, set, and draw. All right, so I drew the Violet Par, which in this scenario, looking at my opponent's board state and fully knowing that I'm against this ink pairing, I feel really, really confident in inking this Dumbo because, one, I don't have anything to give evasive to right now, and I've got a lot of evasive characters in this deck, so I'm going to do that, play out the Violet. Now, I don't have a damage to move, but I have maxed out my ink, so I will go ahead and quest for 2 and pass to my opponent.
Ready, set, draw, Dumbo. All right, so I see that he has a bunch of evasives, so I cannot get rid of any of my evasive answers. So these are all secret uninkables in this matchup right now. I like Besties, but this is the weakest card right now in my hand. So I will ink Besties, and for 4, I will play Tigger, and Tigger will bounce Randall Boggs to the hand. Again, I don't want to quest because I don't want to give him any value on anything, so then I will pass.
Okay, ready, set, draw. All right, so my opponent trying to control my tempo actually helped after I drew the dash par, came up with a little plan that this turn I want to ink my Randall, go ahead and play an Isis to exert Grandmother Willow and take that out with Violet Par. So I will do that. And then my plan at the moment is to play out Dumbo Dash Par next. So I will ink Randall, play out Isis, exerting Grandmother Willow, take out that. 1 damage there. And then pass turn.
Good. Ready, set, draw, Dumbo. All right, so slowing down my ramp has really hurt me. I still am able to play Dumbo this turn or Augustin. My thought is, if I play Dumbo this turn, I can go ahead and use his ability plus play another 4-drop. And right now, I know evasives are going to be a huge issue against this deck. Runs tons of them. So what I'll do, and I'm not too worried about supporting, say, Dumbo or anything like that to take his evasive characters out. I have ways to deal with that. So I'm going to ink the Augustin. And then for 4, I'll establish a Dumbo, and then I will pass.
Ready, set, draw. All right, so I drew the Randall Boggs, which is really, really good because we're kind of in a slow, stalematey type scenario. Now, I don't like the fact that Justin just pulled out a Dumbo. He does threaten to answer some of my cards with that Dumbo and or get some resources back. So I'm going to go with the Randall Boggs ink. For 1, I'm going to establish a dash par. And then for 4, I'm going to play the uninkable Isis. I will exert the Dumbo, and then I will trade with Violet Par. And because I have a better board at this point, and the Louisa Madrigal is not going to be able to take out my Isis, and if he wastes a shift, that's even better. I get a 2 for 1. I'll go ahead and quest with Isis to see if he trades Tigger. Pass.
Sure. Ready, set, draw, got a Tigger. All right, so getting rid of the Dumbo kind of ruins my plan a little bit. I am looking to get Demona out next turn, although there's always the threat of me being Demona next turn. So I need to get some big bodies out there to either make better, not as powerful or painful trades for me, or I can then utilize the strength cards for the next turns. I don't like inking and getting rid of my second Dumbo, but I'm going to have to do that. So I will ink Dumbo. I'll play Tigger to bounce, dash to hand. This also helps me if he does have a Demona. That also gives another card in hand, so it makes him harder to draw as many cards as he wants. And then I will pass.
All right. Ready, set, and draw. All right, so I drew the Peter Pan. I am trying to recall some of my Blurple days in the last season, season 2, and I want to win this potential Demona war. And I have to play just like my opponent has to play, that we both have it. And I think in this scenario, I have a better board into that Demona play. So I think what I'm going to do is ink the Peter, exert it for a dash par, and then for 4, I will establish the Dumbo. And I am going to go ahead and quest with both my Isises in case I do get Demona at 1. And second, it's okay if Justin trades his Tigers into them because I'm left with a much healthier board state. Pass.
Ready, set, draw. Tigger. All right, Tigger is an interesting draw. The saying that whoever Demona's first in these types of matches usually loses is sometimes true, not always, but I have to keep that in mind. I have to play that he has Demona. So what I need to do is I still can't let him draw cards. So I'm going to use Horseman Strikes to take out Dumbo to see what I get. I'm going to do this first so I can always get more information first. See, that's perfect. If I would have, I'm still going to ink the Tigger anyway. But if I had drawn something else that I can always ink based on what I draw. So I am going to ink the Tigger, and I want to empty my hand because I'm going to get Demona. I am going to play the Cheshire Cat because my plan is to get rid of the Isis because I know that he's just going to keep questing, and whether or not I do anything or not. So I believe it's safe to do this because if he does Isis, I'm okay. So Tigger will trade with 1 Isis. The other Tigger trade with Isis. Okay, and I am free to quest for 1. And then I will pass.
Okay. Ready, set, draw. The Isis play was good and bad. It was good because I wanted to close out the lore race a little bit more and just put that pressure on. But I ended up getting punished because my opponent did not need to Demona. So I think here I'm going to take a step back and slow down a little bit, establish a Scrooge, boost my Scrooge for 1, giving it 4/4. And because I have the only evasive character on board, and I do not think he plays anything, I will go ahead and just quest with dash par and pass my turn.
Ready, set, draw. Hades. All right, Hades is not the worst draw. I still want to hold on to this Demona as long as possible because once we start, purple matches, Amethyst matches, once it starts with Demonas, it just keeps going back and forth, and that's where it gets a little crazy. So I'm going to play Hades and target the Scrooge. I'm assuming that he's going to probably give me cards because I can tell that he's been keeping 1 card in his hand for a very long time. And that's okay. I'll then have ink, and maybe I get lucky and also empty my hand. So let's just see what happens. So for 5, I'll play Hades, targeting draw. Okay. There we go. That's nice. Another Hades. All right. So I'm going to empty my hand. So I'm going to ink my Hades here. And then play a Junior Woodchuck Guidebook. And then pass my turn.
Okay, ready, set, draw turn. I drew the Rafiki. In this scenario, what I'm planning to do is play out my Demona first. And then the initial plan is to boost Scrooge McDuck, take out Cheshire Cat if I don't get a 1-drop. And the most that's going to happen is Louisa's going to come back and trade. And then I'll be left with Demona and dash par and potentially 2 or 3 cards in hand. So I will go ahead and bring out the Demona for 6.
I'll draw 2.
Draw 1, 2, and 3. Okay. So I will now boost for 1. Take out Cheshire. Quest for 1. And I can't empty my hand or prepare for a reverse Demona, but like I said, the board state will not be that bad, so pass.
Ready, set, draw. Isis. So Isis is a really good card because I can lock down Demona because he has 3 cards in hand. I don't have excellent ink yet, so I want more options. So what I'm going to do is pay 1 to exert and banish the guidebook to draw 2 cards. That's a good card too. Another Demona. All right, so the pulling of the Gaston and Demona, it will help me, but I still think I'm going to stick with my original plan of playing Isis. So 4, I will play Isis to lock down Demona. Demonas will not exert next turn. I have 2 left, so I definitely am going to play the Woodchuck Guidebook, and I am going to ink Demona, and I'll go ahead and draw more cards. So inking that other Demona was not that bad. Spin is also a really good card to deal with threats. I'm definitely going to take the trade with Scrooge, and then I can freely quest with Hades. Buried a Dumbo, love to see that. And then I will pass.
Okay. Ready, set, draw. All right, so I'm clearly not doing good here. The Isis decision is coming back to haunt me. It was a turn too late doing that. So I think in this scenario, I'm not going to get much value out of the cat anymore, given the current state of the board. So I'm going to try to empty my hand and get a little bit wider. So I want to play both Jebediah, Farnsworth, and Peter Pan and Tink. This will give me evasive across the board. Hopefully that protects my Demona. Now, I am concerned about exerting my dash par because I know he plays Sven and we're getting pretty far down in cards. But I also think I'm so committed I need to keep applying pressure. So I'll do that and leave 1 card in hand, threatening Demona will unlock next turn and pass.
Set. Ready. Set. Draw. Another Hades. So what I'm going to do is, all his characters have evasive anyway, so that Peter Pan is only protecting the Demona. So that's my first plan, is I'm going to get rid of Demona. So for 5, I will use Gaston, banishing Demona. And then I have 3 ink left. So I need an ink so I can establish this Sven to hopefully deal with a future Peter Pan. I don't want to take out Dash. That would be very tempting. But then Peter Pan and Tinkerbell just come in, or Jebediah will be forced to trade in or not trade in even. So it's going to be ink besties. So I can get to 4 ink here. Play Sven. I am not going to use his ability as the rush. I am going to quest with Isis, forcing Jebediah to trade into Isis. So that gives my Sven a little bit of protection for the future. And then I'll pass.
Okay, ready, set, draw. Jebediah is forced to take out Isis. I have no other logical steps to take that out. Sven is threatening my Peter Pan and Tink, which is my Lord Pressure. I'm going to do the thing I hate to do, which is play out my hand, but I am going to red alert for 4 the Sven. I will play out the Liquidator for 2. This should be threatening anything that turns. Jebediah will trade into Isis. Isis lives. At this point, the Sven is gone. Unlikely he's going to get another, and he has no other evasive threats. So I will take the 3 lore. But now I have nothing to surprise my opponent with outside of a top deck. So I will pass.
Ready, set, draw. All right, so Peter Pan is my really only threat. I don't really care about Liquidator. I need to get rid of Dash. I have the answer with Ursula, so this is going to come out this play. But first, I'm going to try. If he gets rid of Peter Pan, that helps me a lot. If not, I get cards, and that gives me way more options. So we'll start with exerting 5. Play Hades, targeting Peter Pan and Tink.
Okay, this is a tough decision, but I've not inked a single Demona. So my hope here is giving Justin cards, I will get a Demona so off the top deck or very shortly after. So I will go ahead and let him draw 2.
So 1, 2, get my ramp. All right, I'm going to ink Ham. Don't really need that anymore. I have plenty of ink. Going to play Ursula. I'm okay. I'm going to go ahead and just start getting some lore. So I'll quest.
You just played those 80s.
I will not play with that one. 1, 2, 3. Get 3 lore and pass.
All right. Ready, set, Demona.
Oh my.
All right, so you heard the ready, set, Demona, so that's kind of funny. Demona will now replace the word draw when playing purple decks, I guess. I really don't have much of a choice here. My opponent's Justin's not gonna get any cards off this. So I will do this, and then I'm gonna get some more information and take a minute to decide what I'm gonna do from there. All right, so I took a moment to think about it. Obviously, this Demona was great and exactly what I needed to give myself a shot back into this game. Even though the lore totals are what they are, Justin was clearly pulling ahead. So I got some tough decisions here, but I think I've got a good plan. I'm going to ink my red alert. I'm going to establish a Scrooge McDuck for turn, and I'm going to boost it right away, getting it to 4/4. Now, my Liquidator is reckless, so I must use it. And out of all my targets, I will not survive the interaction. But what I am going to do is get rid of an evasive threat by using Dash Power and Liquidator into Ursula. The hope here is that my opponent does not have a way to deal with Peter Pan and Tank for a while. And I hope that my opponent decides to Demona me again, so that way, or Demona me this time, so that way I get more card draw and exerts my Demona. So I'll quest for 2, and I'll pass to Justin.
Ready, set, draw. All right, the Horseman Strikes was the perfect answer to that. So we will start with Horseman Strikes on Peter Pan and Tank. I'll also get a draw card from that. Oh, that's awesome too. I am going to want to deal with this Scrooge. So going to play Tree first so I can get the discount. I will then use 3 to play Isis, and then I will use Isis to challenge.
You got a Jebediah.
Got Jebediah. And then, since I have the ink left, I will Besties Assemble, emptying my hand for future Demonas. 1, 2, 3, 4. I can take any card. I have a lot of options. I'm definitely not taking these 2. So we have Sven and Ursula. I'm going to take the Sven because I can use that for the future. I'd like to keep the Ursula because I can quest a lot, but I don't think I'm really in that position to do that yet. I am going to put Ursula on the top just in case I do draw enough. And then I'm going to go ahead and start questing for 3. 1, 2, 3. And then I will pass.
All right. Ready, set, Demona. All right, so I drew the Rafiki. Did not get another Demona, but I got super lucky the last time. So I'll establish both Mrs. Incredible and Rafiki for 6. In this scenario, I could start taking down some targets, creating some 2-for-1s, but I really don't want to do that because I can just exert Demona, present lethal. This might draw out an opponent's Demona, and either way, I'm still going to get that 2-for-1 trade. So I will go ahead and quest for 2 and pass to Justin.
Ready, set, draw. All right, Isis was really good. And that's what shows the power of this purple-yellow deck is there's just so many answers. You have so many options. So this Isis is going to basically, I think this is going to close out the game for me. I'm going to play Isis for only 3 using the tree's ability, exerting Mrs. Incredible. Okay. I will then, since I have my Sven, I will use 4 to play Sven. Sven and Grandma Willow will go into Mrs. Incredible. My Isis I played last turn, plus a Hades, is going to go into Demona. And then I'm free quest here.
All right, ready? Oops. Set, draw. Okay. Getting very lucky here. Not much thought. Drew the solution to buy myself time. Demona. Draw 1, 2, 3, 4. I play Scrooge. Boosted. Quest for 1. Pass.
Right. Set. Draw. All right. So my plan is this. I've kept this Demona this whole entire time. So I'm going to empty my hand. I'm going to lock down his Demona, and then I should just be able to race to win. So let's make sure I save my 6 ink off to the side for that, so I can do everything I can. So for 2, play Grandma Willow. For free, pay 1 there. All right, then I'll use my 6 to play Demona.
I deny the trigger.
2, 3. Have Gaston for the future if I need to. I will go ahead and ink, because why not? And then I will just go ahead and quest. There is a thought to take out Rafiki, but if I do that, then I am 1 lore short. So because his Rafiki won't be able to challenge and take out any of these characters. So then I will pass.
Ready, set, draw. All right, so looking at the board, the most I could do is use Scrooge to trade down one of the characters. Rafiki can't get boosted any which way more. I did not get my item Medallion Weights to help me stall this 1 turn, so I could Scrooge into Violet, taking down an Elwynnie, but that's really not going to help me. So at this scenario, it's just game over. So congratulations, good job. So that was rough. We ended up getting 1 game in on camera and 1 game off camera.
Yeah,
I was on the play both times.
Right.
Thank you for schooling me. I made some pretty, I think, reasonable mistakes.
Yeah.
And you took advantage of it, which was great to see. So now I'm going to have to go back into the think tank and get a better plan against you. But let's move on to something a lot more exciting than my loss, which is D23 announcements. I'm going to defer a lot to Justin in this to get the details just right. I'm very excited, though. I'm losing my words how excited I am over some of these cards, mats, just everything. If you don't mind, just give us a rundown of what you want to talk about, and then just start us off, Justin.
Yeah.
This is exciting.
Yeah, there's been so much announced. I know there was so little news for so long, and it just seems like the floodgates have opened on this. Tons of exciting announcements.
Bring it in.
First of all, let's just talk about future sets into the Ink Dark. So
it's dark.
Yeah,
like its name. And we get a collector box.
Exactly. So it had already been confirmed that we had that collector's box, but we had a little bit more details. So kind of what I think a lot of people thought was going to be all foil cards in these packs. And when you have these packs also have a higher chance of rarity. So you have a more likelihood of pulling, say, that enchanted or even iconic.
Let's go.
But
let's go.
The biggest news from this is we finally have serialized cards in Lorcana.
Illustrious.
So that's our new rarity level. There will be a total of 6 illustrial cards in the next set, and there will only be 23 of each of those cards worldwide. So it's not per country, it's worldwide. The 23 is a very significant number in Disney. That's the year that Walt Disney founded the company. So
1923, right?
Yeah, so whoever has 19 of that is going to have the perfect card.
I hear there's already offers out for certain numbers. 1923.
Yeah, now these cards are, I think, are just going to go crazy.
The Maleficent. You're going to see it right here.
Yeah.
Oh,
these cards are going to be rarer than Golden Mickeys. Now, granted, these are maybe easier to accomplish getting, depending on how well you play the game.
Is it going to be like I get a golden ticket?
Right. But these are going to be super, super collectible cards. But also the good thing about it is they said that nothing will change with the booster boxes that we have currently. So we should still expect I think the really excellent pull rates we've had for Wilds Unknown and now
Keep It Up.
Divine.
It's great.
So according to everything we've been told, we will continue to see those excellent pull rates. So if you are a collector, you can dabble into this, and if you are just a player, or you know don't really necessarily need these fancy cards, you can continue the same experience that you've had opening packs.
If I get a Maleficent, how can I get rid of that?
It'll be a lot of money, that's for sure.
How many of these collector boxes do you think are going to be in the wild?
Well, that's the thing. According to what they've said, these will be available at select Disney locations. I think they may have said it was online as well, and local game stores may have some, which tells me that they're going to be kind of hard to find, at least to start. So I don't know if they're going to kind of lessen the quality or quantity this time and then bump it up.
Because the quality went way up. Not that word.
Yeah. But yeah, I think these are going to be not only difficult to find, but they are going to have some amazing cards in there.
Cannot wait.
Yeah.
I hope somebody watching pulls one. I'm rooting for you. I'm rooting for me too, personally, and maybe you.
Yeah,
but I'm rooting for me.
Yeah.
Let's see if we can even get a box.
Right. So that's step one. Can we get a box? I know there's some hesitation. A lot of people are concerned about it. That might change things, but as long as I think as long as they continue the good experience that we've seen the last two sets at opening boxes, I think that they'll be great. Now, as a collector, as someone that is in it to collect the cards.
Wait, you collect?
I have a few cards.
Okay.
This is a little scary because I've already come to the fact that I'm not going to have every single card that is ever printed now, unless I want to pay a lot of money, which I don't have quite yet. So
I was working on it.
Yeah, part of the collector side of me is a little disappointed because I know how hard these are going to be to get your hands a hold of, but it's okay. I've come to terms with it.
What's nice though is, as collectors, and I'm not as much of a collector as you are, but as collectors, seeing a nice spread throughout the market, this might create some more of that engagement to really navigate some deals and work some things out. Obviously, those with the means will probably procure what they need, but let's see how many of these things get discovered. Maybe you can create like a little tracker, or maybe Melissa over at Missy Enchanted, maybe she can create a tracker. Yeah. She's got some stuff like that. It's pretty cool. Yeah. That would be nice to see who gets them and where they're at. Yeah. Obviously, protect people's personal information, but I would like to see, like, hey, we're at 10 of 23. Let's go. You know, who hasn't opened their box yet? Come on.
So that's really exciting. But that was just the start. So that's stuff we already knew.
Wait, that's not it?
No. This is the stuff we already knew. We have the announcement of a new Curator's box. This time it's based on Beauty and the Beast for the 35th anniversary. All we know is it's going to be in the fall, so we can assume that it comes out with Hyperia City. We don't know exactly yet, but if you have not seen these cards, we're going to put this right here. If you have not seen these cards, beautiful. They are amazing. They are in a stained glass motif, so it has this is what you look for if you're looking for a collectible box.
Are you going to open it and play with them again?
Of course.
Can't do it. Can't do it. Sorry, I'm not the one. But it'll stay sealed forever in my collection if I get one.
Yeah.
I swore during the Princess Curators pack that just due to the overwhelming amount of people there on a very hot summer, that I probably wouldn't do it again, and I've already lied to myself.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be out and about trying to get one. I need one for the collection. Again, I'm not as big of a collector as you are, but what I can get, I want to get. It means a lot to me, since I love the game so much, I want to have what I can get.
Right. These are going to be also at select Disney locations, probably online for those that don't have a Disney park near you. Based on last release, I don't see this being any less desirable than that. If anything, this will definitely maybe bump it up a notch. I've seen nothing but amazing reaction from this. They really did an excellent job with that. Now, I don't know if you follow along with the D23 box that they released, but they did have virtual queues at Disneyland as well at Ravensburger booth at the convention. And from everything I've seen, that seems very successful. I'd like to see them implement that worldwide. That way we don't have the chaos that we had the last time. I have no proof, but I have a feeling that possibly the D23 box wasn't released here in Florida based on that negative experience. Now, they could have been pre-planned that they were not going to bring it here anyway, but hopefully the experience of actually buying it will be a little bit more enjoyable. Last time was not a great experience, but like you had said, I said the same thing. I'm not doing this again, but I cannot get this. Like,
yeah, I mean the art, the box itself. Before you even flip it around to see the cards, the box is just beautiful. Yeah. For those who are into the IP, Beauty and the Beast, I mean this is a must-have if you get your hands on it. Obviously, pre-plan.
Yes.
Pay attention to all the cues they're going to give us. Do it. Go prepared. It could be long waits. Hopefully they do what you said with the D23 again. I'm sure they will, but I don't want to speak for anybody on their behalf. They have their plans, and we're just going to follow along and see what we can do.
Right. So yeah, as soon as we know more information, I'll definitely share it on my social media and
like Lorcana collectors, in case you didn't know.
So yeah, and that's not all. That was the second thing they announced.
Okay. So we get Kingdom Hearts.
No.
Oh, okay. Okay.
But we do have something that was a little unexpected. I know I personally didn't expect this, but we will see the return of the Collector's Quest to Epcot's Specialty Art this year.
Nice.
We will have an exclusive card with Figment from Epcot. And if you don't know about Figment has its original character with the opening of Epcot, and we're going to finally see we'll finally see a park character on a card.
So that's brand new, right? We have never had this.
This is the first time we see it, and this kind of opens up the possibilities of seeing other park characters. Characters from the Haunted Mansion or the Orange Bird or any of your favorite attractions.
Awesome.
Now, there is a little bit with this. This card will be exclusive to Epcot.
Makes sense.
Yeah. This
Epcot character, Epcot.
Exactly. Yeah. This Figment will not be included in Hyperia City in the normal set, but this will have the alternate art with Figment on the card.
Okay.
So the
7-cost inkable, draws 4 cards.
Yeah.
Right? I think we got to let them know.
Yeah.
With the possibility of floating ink, there might be an option that this is viable.
Yeah.
We'll have to see.
Yeah. Yeah. We don't know all the details on that yet, but that can make this card very playable. But the first time we've seen a park character, and not the first time we've seen an alternate art, but this is the first time we've seen an alternate art that isn't necessarily the art that's on the normal card.
Makes sense.
So that's exciting. I enjoyed the festival last year. Met a lot of great people, traded a lot of cards with a lot of friends, and really excited to come back, and maybe I can convince you to go this year.
I will go to the Festival of the Arts. There's a lot of good reason to go. My wife has been pestering me to go. I say pestering, but I haven't taken her yet. My mom has taken her and such, so we do need to go and enjoy it, and it is a good time. And then going around the world and experiencing all that again. I haven't done it in so long. I need to get back out. A lot of great food and such out there and beverages to enjoy. So, it'd be nice to get back out there and then partake, and then maybe I can join you on one of your learn to play events that you do.
Yeah. So mark your calendars and expect that in early 2027.
Maybe you can teach me how to beat you with the decks we just played.
Yeah, well maybe.
Maybe.
Yeah. So
let's get into the season of villainy.
Oh yeah.
Show these cards.
Yeah. So
they don't care what we have to say. They want to see these cards.
So that would normally be a great announcement, and people were super happy. And then we get the next day during the CCQ, we get the announcement of Season of Villainy officially happening. We have the announcement of all the prizes that you can win, and a few extra things that I know I personally was not expecting, but really excited that they announced it. So we'll just have the cards circulating around here, but we see Ursula. We see new art for the 2-cost one that grabs a song. So
she's still in play.
Yeah, that's a great
so this
card.
is gonna be a desirable card.
Yeah, Madam Mim, we do not know, and that's the participation. Madam Mim, we don't know too much about that yet because we haven't released the full cards. I'm kind of skipping ahead. So to get 3 wins is the return of our favorite Be Prepared. So you can,
Amazing new art.
yeah,
Amazing new art.
It's it's right there, so you can see how great it looks.
And hopefully in Hyperia City we see a reprint.
Yeah, maybe you never know.
I'm a fan of the cards.
Yeah, but if not, you can at least still play it in Infinity and in Coconut or whatever they're going to call it.
Yep, whatever they're going to call it.
So this kind of takes the place of the Mulan that's currently right there. Again, these are all foiled.
With the gold on the bottom.
Yeah, the new promo that they released.
Yep.
So that's with 3 wins. Now, if you make top 64, you'll get the Gaston Superior Archer, which is a super
this is bold.
card.
This is a bold card.
And
the art's beautiful. It has.
This is a great top 64 card. Again, 32. We see that mana min. We don't know quite the details yet. We don't know how the card's going to interact, but it's an 8-cost 7/5. So I would imagine that it's going to be a pretty good card.
Maybe we'll get some bounce back.
Yeah, maybe that'd be fun.
Bounce on a character. That's always
right. And then, so we also saw the mats that were released. So if you make day 2, so in previous, if you made day 2, you didn't necessarily get an extra card. You had to reach a certain level to do that. But if you make day 2, you will get a play mat this time, and this will be that art of Be Prepared. And I need to figure out a way to make day 2. I need to start practicing now. That's all.
You need to do it twice. That way Baker can sign one for you.
Yeah.
You know, this is incredible.
Yeah.
I mean, the green flames coming up and around, you know, seeing that character in the back just imposed like that. I mean, this is insane. If I won one, I don't know if I could open it and play with it. It is too gorgeous.
I would absolutely play with it. I mean,
I know you've opened all your foils and such.
Yeah. But yeah, it's a great playmat. And then if you make top 16, you'll get that Mana Min playmat as well.
It's equally as gorgeous. Cannot wait to see what the character does. I don't really care. Mm-hmm. I don't know how I'm going to make top 16, but focus on day 2 first.
Yeah. So then we also saw the prize wall. We can see the Ursula alternate art and then the Gaston alternate art on a playmat. So those are the 2 mats you can get. Of course, all these are themed to villains because of the season of villainy.
I've been a little critical of the mats, and it's mostly my fault. The art's always great, it's always beautiful, but because I've not watched every single one of the movies, you know, shame on me, I've kind of missed out and didn't understand all the relevance. The art on this, even though I may not know it all, the art on this is so incredible. This is must have. This is must have. I've got to work my butt off. I've got to get in the tank. Mm-hmm. I got to do what I got to do. I got to earn some of this because I do want it. And I probably would open it and just, you know, put it in front of you as we play at locals, especially if you didn't know.
Yeah.
It'd be a nice little surprise.
So those are the play mats. We also see 4 brand new pins with Gaston, Ursula, the Be Prepared, and the Madame Mim.
Yep.
And we don't know exactly how these will be available. These could be available through, they said, anything from reaching a certain level to VIP packages to anything. So we don't know exactly how these will be released, but they have created 4 new pins.
Gorgeous.
And then the big prize.
So this is insanity.
So we've had the Golden Mickey for the last 2 seasons, and it's an amazing card. There's 500 printed in the world. We have not seen them all, and they've even said that they're not retiring it permanently, that we might see it again. But with the Season of Villainy, we see the introduction of new prize cards. So we have our Golden Haze this time. And this is a card from set 15. So this is from Into the Ink Dark. It's a pretty crazy card if you haven't read it. But that aside, each DLC top 8 will receive this gold Hades card. And then, so there's 250 of those created. And then if you do well and you go to nationals and you top there, you will get the same card but with another art, and he just is a little bit more menacing, a little bit less cool in that one. He's starting to lose his temper, so 36 of those created. And then finally, for the top 8 at Worlds, we see the final iteration of this where Hades is just full on going crazy. And
let's read the card in case you haven't had a chance to read it. And I don't know how it's going to come through on here, but I'm just going to read it right from the screen. Whenever this character quests, you may reveal your inkwell. So we don't often see the revealing of the inkwell.
Yeah.
If you reveal 5 Titan characters with different names, okay, you will win the game.
Wait, you just win?
You just win.
You can be at 0 and you can just win.
You can just win the game. Otherwise, exert all cards of your inkwell. Can we have Worlds, the next Worlds champion win with this card on that play for the last turn?
That'd be awesome.
It would be so spectacular. But these cards are amazing. They're above rate. The Mickey, take nothing away from it. Iconic. It's what the franchise is built on. But these Hades, I just feel like everything they're doing over at Ravensburger, they're just taking it to the next level every time.
Yeah.
And with all of this, the up pricing support and all that, it just gives you that much more incentive. But what about the youth? We haven't heard anything about the youth.
Yeah. So children or youth haven't been excluded from our challenges.
Right. But never excluded.
They're going to definitely be facing, adults, and sometimes that can be intimidating and
or just sometimes that person's got 20 years of experience and you got
and we've seen
a year and a half.
Yeah, we've seen youth do very well in the game and winning golden Mickeys. But they finally have announced that there is a youth division, and I think that's going to be really good for the game itself. And
absolutely,
it will be really good to bring up those future players. And not only are they going to do a youth division, but they're actually going to have 2 youth divisions. So ages 8 to 12 will have their own division, and then 13 to 17 will have their own division. And with that, they get their own card, their own participation card. They also get a top 64 foil card. It's a syndrome. And then the top 8 will get an exclusive playmat.
So that is great. Good. That is beyond my expectation.
Yeah.
Obviously all the announcements, we were going back and forth about them like, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. I don't know if we had any better words. It was just incredible. But this is great. This makes me want to, get my 9-year-old son into this and really, see where he is. But what about locals?
We did get the announcement of something called a local qualifier. So currently, if you win a set championship, you get an awesome card and you get an awesome map. But
no problem with that.
Yeah, which is great. But now there will be a way for people that have won set championships to then go on to the next level, where we see the Brave Little Tailor Mickey in the non-gold form. We get to see that, so they'll be able to get a card for participation. Top 32 will get a special foil card of that. But this will also, winners of this, we don't know all the details, but winners of this will then also be able to move on to the next level and automatically be qualified for, I believe they said nationals, but again, the details are not 100% there. But this is something great at the local level that will get, I hope will get people out playing in league nights, seeing what's the local meta, not just showing up to set championships and participating, to get you out weekly, because if this is going to up the stakes of those set championships a lot. And if you just show up and you don't know what's going on at that store because you don't go there, you might not do as well as if you were there every week going to the locals.
That's a great point. There's a lot of desire for the locals to be ramped up. But I think this does answer a little bit of that. And I'm not going to argue with anybody over this, but I think this does, to your point, get people out. What are the Justins of the world playing? What are the, Karas and the Scots? What are they playing? So that way, when I go to that set champ there, that I may not be able to participate every single week, but when I go there finally, I do want to kind of know, how do they play? How do they think?
Right.
This might be more reason to get out. So I'm very thankful to Ravensburger for doing this. This is all steps in the right direction. And I just feel like probably maybe in the future, we're going to get another announcement about what could happen with locals. Yeah. Maybe they invest something or they find a way to make them a little more attractive. For me, it's all about the community and getting out and playing all the different skill levels of everybody. And, it's just a fun time to socialize. But, obviously people want more, and I think they're starting to answer that, which is great.
Yeah, and I think they've really, I think after last season's kind of, I guess, I would say what is a negative reaction of the lack of challenges and things like this, I think they've really stepped up their game. They've given so much more incentive to play, not only at the large events, but at the local events, at the set championships. So I think this is nothing but good to me.
Yeah.
And then of course, we also got the news that we won't have 3 challenges per continent this year. We will have 5. So we've increased that number. I know, and I assume we'll be going to the Tampa one as long as we can get tickets. It's right in our backyard.
Well, there's 4,000 attendees this time.
Yes.
4,000 competitors.
Right.
So this is going to have to be a big venue. This is going to be well orchestrated.
Yeah.
So this is incredible.
Yeah. We saw this in Europe in the last 2 challenges of the year over there, but each of these will be in both continents, North America and Europe, will see that increased cap. So double the capacity. But it's now going to move to a 3-day tournament, which is also just means more Lorcana to play.
Yep.
But yeah, we had the announcement in North America of Tampa, Milwaukee, Las Vegas, Portland, and Toronto. Obviously, we're going to try to go to the Tampa one, but are you thinking about going to any others?
So the wife and I have not fully discussed it. We've kind of glazed over it. She's committed that I attempt to go to all 5.
Okay.
Obviously, I've got to work around a very busy work schedule with that, and then obviously the kids as well. So we're going to do what's best for the family, but the initial answer is yes, I'm going to attempt to make all 5. I want to increase my performance. And to do that, I think I need to be in the best settings. And to me, these are some of the best settings.
They are.
So every time I feel like I'm getting a little bit better, and then I get to a point, and then somebody kind of knocks me down, and then I just want to keep improving, and I think I just need to go to all 5, and maybe even pull that passport out and go overseas.
Yeah, there's some great options in Europe. They're going to start out in London, goes to Turin, Lyon, Jurček. I'm pronouncing these wrong, and then finally in Dusseldorf. So there is a lot of options for both continents, and this is not even the final list. There will be in Asia. I know Australia is getting more things as well. So this is a worldwide thing, and I know I'm really looking forward to going to as many of these as I can.
Yeah, I didn't ask you. Are you gonna try to hit all 5?
I would ideally like to. There's some of them I've already looked, and it doesn't seem like it's going to work well with my schedule. But I'd like to go to at least 2 or not, if not 3 this year.
Well, I mean, you are teaching our youth, so you have to be responsible with that too. So we appreciate that.
So, and that's kind of all the announcements. I said kind of all the announcements, but there was so much to digest. I know I was super excited all weekend. It's kind of all that I thought about, like, wow, they're going to do this, wow, they're going to do that. And I think these announcements have exceeded most people's expectations.
Yeah, if they ever want to run a show, they know how to keep us coming back and just waiting for the next announcement. They were feeding that dopamine so well, or hitting on that dopamine so well. Yeah. A lot of great stuff. Thank you for putting it all together. Yeah. Thank you for using your website or your social media platform so it's all in one place. That's awesome. And thank you for the work you do here. I will say that this seems to be the best season we've ever seen coming up. I don't really think anything has topped this.
No, I don't think so. I think last season, while it was fun, I think that it maybe was not what everybody had hoped for, especially after having so many challenges season 1. But
we always want more.
Right, we always want more. But this, I think, has even exceeded the first season, and the avenues that you're able to get to the continental challenges or to worlds, whatever, have now increased. So there's a lot more ways to experience Lorcana, a lot more ways to participate at the highest level if that's what you want to do.
Keep it up, Ravensburger. This is awesome.
Yeah.
So look, hopefully we can be sitting in number 1 and number 2 at the top.
That'd be nice. I got to do a little bit more practice. That's true.
Same here.
So, but thank you very much for watching. I know we kind of went long, but there was just so much that we wanted to cover. Thank you for watching. Again, if you ever have any comments or anything like that, please leave a comment in the comments below. If you like this and you want to see us, we'll be doing this every week. So like and subscribe, and we'll go straight to your right to your notification.
Yeah. And if you're local, come play with us at Fast Break on Friday nights.
Yeah, sounds good.
Here locally.
Yeah. All right.
So cheers.